Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ghaneva. If you're old here, you are welcome, and if you're new here, you are welcome as well. This channel is all about leveling up and of course some business tips as well. Today's episode is about personal growth, and this is how you can use comparison to your advantage. Have you ever been compared to something that you really felt like you are nothing, or you really felt like you are nobody in this world, you don't have anything in this world? I literally means you really felt reduced by how people compared you to something, or you yourself, you compare yourself to some people and you really feel down about yourself, then today's episode is for you. Today, I'm going to share something from my own experience with you and how I did it so you can do it as well. This is how you can use comparison to your own advantage. Of course, comparison in general, we say that it's something bad. You shouldn't compare someone to someone else, and this is how you can use it to your advantage. Of course, comparison is the thief of joy, or is the death of joy. Now, comparing people is in two steps that I have put down, and in these steps I say that you compare yourself to either higher standard or lower standard depending on where you are. So we always compare ourselves to either a high standard or a lower standard. Now, when you compare yourself to the higher standard that you are not, that's where you become less reduced by your own self. And when you compare yourself to the lower standard, that's where you are more than that lower standard, and that's how you can use that comparison to your own advantage. So in comparing everything, make sure that you compare yourself to the higher standard to only improve on your current situations. Never compare yourself to the higher standard and make yourself feel like, God, when? God, I can't do this anymore. God, can't you see that I'm also trying hard to be like these people? This is when you compare yourself to the higher standard in a negative way. So instead of being reduced, comparing yourself to them in a negative way, you should compare yourself to them in a positive way. Use it as a point of contact, as a point of prayer, that this higher standard, I'm working to improve myself, I'm planning my goals to get to that higher standard. And when we come to the lower standard, that lower standard is more of advantage to the higher standard. So comparing yourself to the lower standard using your current situation that you are in, if you are more well at yourself with everything that you have to that lower standard, then it means that this is how you can use yourself in comparison with the higher and the lower standard. I know I'm not confusing you. So what I mean is that instead of you comparing yourself to higher standards that you always being reduced by it, compare yourself to the lower things that you think you have been able to achieve them. Instead of you comparing yourself that, God, when would I get this mansion? Of course, compare yourself that, God, I've been able to have this single room. God, I've been able to have a place to lay my head, while someone else is really working so hard to get that single room. And this is how you can use comparison to your advantage. If you are using higher standard to your advantage in terms of comparison, then that mansion, you should have a long-term goal that I'm having this long-term goal, and by this year, 7 years later, by 11 years later, I'm planning to get the same mansion. And that's how to use comparison to your advantage. Comparison can be a very negative impact in your life, but I believe that using comparison in a positive way can also have that same positive impact in your life, on your life, in your steps, on your steps and everything that you do on this earth. So please, if you're someone comparing yourself with being reduced by some higher standards that you set for yourself, and even those higher standards that you set for yourself, those higher standards are someone's lower standards. That means that we are all unique in our own way, and I get that. So if you have those standards you call higher standards, please do well to not compare yourself to them. And when you are comparing yourself to them, compare them in a positive way. Compare them to have a positive impact on your life. Okay, and I hope today's message has really helped someone, especially if you compare yourself in a negative way always. I hope this video has really helped you. And if you have anything else about comparison, and you have any life experience with comparison that made you felt very bad, you can let us know in the comment section so we also learn something from it. Here is where I'll end my video, and I'll see you in the next video. Please do well to subscribe to the channel if you haven't still subscribed. Be part of this community. It's all about leveling up, growing yourself as an individual, and of course learning some business tips for me in importation. Then I'll see you in the next video. Please do well to stay very focused. Ghaneva Edge, my aim is deep inside real success. Bye.